Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Indeed, the media still rails on hysterically about the record number of Wuhan virus positive case counts, as if COVID is akin to Ebola, that, contracting this virus is almost an automatic death sentence, regardless of who you are. But surely we all know by now that nothing could be further from the truth. Meanwhile, where are the stories that the so-called cure is surely worse than the curse? Poverty is indeed the problem. Lost jobs, bankrupt businesses, a moribund economy, depression and anxiety. But since last winter, it's business as usual when it comes to lockdowns and smackdowns and suspensions of our civil liberties. But to fight what exactly? Personally, like most people, I suspect, I've come to look upon the Wuhan virus far differently in the month of December than I did back in, say, February. Back then, the coronavirus was some mysterious thing happening in Hubei province in China. Later, it would spread to Iran and Italy, both becoming hotspots, but still an ocean away. But then the virus spread to just about every place in the world, including right here in Canada, and wow, the fear factor loomed large. One didn't dare fill the gas tank unless one was wearing a vinyl or latex glove. Hand sanitizer disappeared from store shelves seemingly overnight. People began voluntarily masking up, which made non-medical masks disappear overnight as well. People were even donning plastic goggles. Every point of entry on the body had to be protected, after all. This was surely some kind of vicious bug. By the time the lockdowns kicked in around St. Patrick's Day, I had bought into the fear factor too, given that so little was known about this virus. Could I catch it by just touching an escalator handrail? And if I caught it, was it an automatic death sentence? And so it was that the entire planet went into a mindset best described as really better safe than sorry. Check out this clip of me going to Toronto's Pearson International Airport back in the springtime, where I discovered that, contrary to popular belief, international flights were still coming into Canada on a daily basis, including, yes, flights from China, aka that basic dictatorship that our Prime Minister greatly admires.
David Menzies for Rebel News here at Pearson International Airport in Toronto at the international arrivals at Terminal 3. Well, folks, I'm here once again to find out what indeed is going on in terms of international arrivals, particularly those coming to Canada from China. Now, you might think that that's a thing of the past. After all, Air Canada suspended flights to and from China last month. And last Friday, we were told that Justin Trudeau was closing the border. Remember that? But it's not the case. At least 5 to 10 flights from China are coming into Canada on a daily basis. In fact, there's one coming in from Shanghai at 1 o'clock and another coming in to this terminal at 2:40 from Chongqing via Beijing. And I just want to see, first of all, if any of these passengers are being subjected to enhanced screening measures, because that has not been the case in all my other visits to Pearson International Airport beginning in January. And I also want to get the opinion of other travelers about our policy. You see, if you fly into Toronto from a flight originating in China, and then you want to fly out to, say, Vancouver or Montreal or anywhere else, you simply get on a connecting flight and off you go. In any event, these flights are going to arrive at any moment. I've got my mic on a mini hockey stick to maintain social distancing etiquette, and we'll see what the people arriving have to say. Hello, sir. Did you just come off the flight from China?
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, did you go through any kind of enhanced screening measures coming through customs?
No. Extra screening? I don't think so.
No.
No.
It's normal, just normal.
Oh, it's just normal, even though there's a global pandemic.
I didn't really notice, but I do get some papers.
Did anyone take your temperature here at the airport, ma'am?
No.
Did they take your temperature remotely, perhaps?
No, didn't.
Heck, even in the great outdoors, I was donning so much PPE, I was perhaps half a pound of plastic removed from a full-fledged hazmat suit. Check out this excerpt from early April of an interview with a trucker who was lamenting that, yes, thanks to COVID fears, truckers, the true superheroes of the supply chain, were being denied the use of bathrooms.
One of the biggest factors that our drivers are experiencing is the fact that they cannot use a washroom. And I heard stories from our drivers, then I actually heard it firsthand myself. And I drove just last week 2.5 hours to get to one of our customers. And to my surprise, when I got there, I asked very politely, could I use the bathroom? And they said, oh, we have to check with the manager. They go inside, then they come out, and they said, if you really have to go, you're going to have to go behind the trailer.
In any event, the point is that when I look back at the early days of the virus, I realize now in hindsight that I and millions of others overreacted when it came to this strange new bug. And I say this because we now know who the most at risk are, namely the elderly in long-term care facilities who account for more than 80% of Wuhan virus deaths in Canada. That's astounding. Equally astounding is that those under 40 account for only 0.3% of deaths. That's right, 0.3%. Perhaps that is where we should have directed our resources, to the long-term care facilities, as opposed to, oh, I don't know, shutting down overnight summer camps, as what happened here in Ontario, despite the fact that children are virtually invulnerable when it comes to dying from the Wuhan virus. And by the way, the death toll is really the only meaningful statistic when it comes to this bug, not the number of positive case results. And when one looks at the death toll worldwide, that number is 1.55 million. In other words, folks, it is a number that resembles a very bad flu season. And yet, we are being told by our fearless leaders that they are following the science, that selectively locking down parts of the economy and enduring all the problems that go with that is somehow a positive thing. And it is a very selective lockdown, isn't it? The multinational, multi-billion-dollar conglomerates such as Walmart and Costco, they can open with impunity. They can pack in their customers like so many sardines into a tin can, but the little mom and pop stores? No. Those are inexplicably hotspots for the Wuhan virus.
That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.